Hey, welcome to Musings, episode number 287. How's it going, Scott?
It's going good, and you?
Doing good.
Awesome.
I wasn't sure if you were able to join right away,
Yeah,
so 10
I
o'clock hit,
swooped
we
in.
had to start.
Yep, the show must go on. Nope, we were
Yeah.
just last minute details. We were making a offer late last night with the client, and had to send in some supporting documentation this morning for that offer. So hopefully it gets accepted today. So we're pretty excited
Excellent.
about that.
Excellent. Yeah, some real estate business going on, end of the year stuff. So very cool.
Yeah, kind of like ninjas of real estate. Whoa.
Every other real estate agent's on Christmas break, and Scott and Jill are working.
Well, you got to. And here's the thing, this time of year, a lot of agents go into hibernation. They kind of disappear for the winter and come back up when the spring season comes. And especially this time of year, a lot of people are away on vacations. And thanks to Southwest Airlines, a lot of people are stranded in other places. So we have buyers. If we can find them that right house this week, the chances of a bidding war are much less for you. So we can swoop in quick, get that offer in, and hopefully get you a good deal.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that during the promos.
Yeah, which we got a lot to cover today. We're going to do the kind of like the best 2022. Scott found a really good list of movies. We'll see if we agree or not agree on that. Kind of cover some of that stuff this year and everything else. But let's get those promos out the way because we got Loringer Family Chiropractic Center, PC, located in Belleville, Michigan and Dexter, Michigan. They take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient, offering on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give a call, 734-697-4244, or you can online at Facebook here, Loringer Family Chiropractic Center, PC. At Loringer Family Chiro used to be their at. I don't know why they don't show that stuff anymore, but of course, Meta, which is now the parent company of Facebook, keeps screwing up everything anyway. So, but we still use it. So here it is. So, but yeah, give them a call. There's the button. Give them a like. Send them a message. Check out some of the stuff they got going on. Like right this week only, they have new low back, neck, and knee traction devices. You can try them out for free. Normally, it's $25 per session. So you got to until January, starting January 2nd, they go up to $25. You got a couple days on those. So
something to keep in mind too with chiropractic care. Winter can be rough on you. Shoveling snow and walking on ice, slipping and falling like I did on Friday. That wasn't fun. I had my chiropractor appointment this morning, and I'll tell you what, Friday it got very icy here. The weather was bad. Walking into work, I was in early, so it was before they salted. I knew the sidewalks were slippery, so I was being very careful. But even being careful, I slipped. My feet went out from under me, and you do this twist in the air and then landed on my right knee and hand, and that hurted for about 5 minutes or so. And, that goes away. But then about halfway through the day, I started noticing how tight my back was. And no matter how I sat, I stood, I stretched, moved around, my back just had this dull pain all weekend.
And it pulls the muscles tighten up, they contract, and something's out of alignment, so it's pulling on them in the wrong way.
Right. And so this morning I was so looking forward to my chiropractor appointment, and he did his stuff, and I feel great now. It's like bam. So I'm going to do a follow-up this Friday just so he can double check that everything is where it needs to be. But it feels so much better. And, prior to chiropractic care, I would have just toughed it out, let myself be in pain for a week. And you got to be careful with your back.
Yeah.
It's crazy how strong our backs are and the things they can do. But then like a small little thing will throw it all out of whack.
And it's good to do the follow-up. Whenever I've had slips or falls, because I was asked, do you have any slip, falls, accidents, whatever. Got rear-ended a few years ago and just didn't really damage the car, but definitely I felt it and went in and got adjusted. Oh, yeah, this was out this way from just a few days before. So, and then I did a couple follow-ups that week because they wanted to make sure that things were definitely moving back into place properly. And it's always good after that to definitely get double checked on that. So definitely check out your local chiropractors. But if you're in Southeast Michigan, Northwest Ohio, check out Loringer's.
Another thing I want to throw out there regarding chiropractic care real quick. A lot of people think, oh, they just want you to keep coming back and they're going to tell you to keep coming back and blah, 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 just to get your money. I'm telling you, once you start and you feel how much better you feel, you're gonna want to go back. If he like, I'll tell you what, only come back once a year, I'd be like, but can I come more?
I'll tell you this: there are some chiropractors out there that they just want to rope you into coming 2-3 times a week. They want to set you up on these big payment
Yeah,
plans, take a loan out, things like that.
yeah,
At that point, maybe go see another chiropractor and get like a second opinion,
yeah.
like you would for anything medical.
It's like
But it's just like anything.
mechanics. There's
Yeah,
good mechanics and bad mechanics. There's, with
yep,
everything. But with the chiropractor care, double check with your insurance company. They might cover a certain number of visits per year.
yep,
There are plans that do that. And even if it doesn't, if you have an HSA account, you can use that's tax-free dollars that you can use to pay for
right.
your care. So there are options out there to help make it more affordable to you. And I really think you'll be happy for choosing to do so. So call
Exactly.
Orangers.
Yep. So, and then
And,
we also have.
and if you want to not have a pain in the back in your real estate deals, give us a call, Team Titans Real Estate. Jill and I, we really do care about you. We live and breathe real estate. We really do. And, yes, I wear a lot of hats, but I absolutely love real estate. And this is my primary job. We do it full time. We're constantly looking all day long at what's out there for our clients. Even when it slows down, it's very easy to kind of get lax and just be like, well, we're on cruise control, but we don't do that. One example is we have a client who's looking, and this time of year, there's a lot less new listings popping up. So it's hard to find matches, but we still do our searches multiple times a day. A listing came up that was a perfect match. So within 2 hours, I think it was, from when the listing was posted, we were able to get them in there, show them the house, write up an offer, and get it submitted. And it sounds like we're getting positive feedback on our offer. So I think this is going to work. I think we're going to get accepted. So like I said, this time of year, you got a lot of people on vacation, they're out of town. So when you have a realtor who acts quickly on your behalf, you can take advantage of these type of timing situations to get you a better deal. So give Jill and I a call. 586-232-5144 is our hotline. And last thing I just want to throw out there, 2023 is coming. It's just a couple days away. And anybody with a real goal where you want to do, like, a lot of people focus on their bodies as New Year's resolutions. But if you're serious, you go and get a coach, somebody who's going to help guide you on that path. Real estate's no different. If you have any real estate goals for 2023, give us a call now, because we can work with you to put together a plan so you can achieve those goals in 2023. So once again, 586-232-5144. Jill and I look forward to talking to you.
Excellent. So we've got the best of 2022. We're going to talk some movies, some TV series, things like that. But we were talking a little bit yesterday afternoon, and a couple of things. I finished up that. I was telling Scott I started watching Alice in Borderlands, and it's a Japanese series. It's been dubbed. The dubbing is actually fairly good. I'm getting more and more impressed with how Netflix has their movies dubbed. If they're doing it or whoever's doing it for them, because it used to be dub movies were just very blah. It was basically just people reading the dialogue, barely any inflection. This one actually giving the inflection and stuff like that. And it kind of fits it. I'm sure the original language would sound, much better, as it always does, but for a dubbing, it's not pretty good. But the basic story is, you might as well just liken it to Alice in Wonderland, but there's not a character named Alice. You're following several different characters through this. As they're basically been transported from our world to another world, looks like our world, and they have to compete in these games. And the games are all based on cards. So, of course, right away you start picking up like the whole card suit thing, like in Alice in Wonderland. So I don't want to get too much into it because the second season just dropped. It's a satisfying ending it did in the second one, but it doesn't feel like it's actually fully done. I think there could be a chance for a third season, and researching the manga it's based on, there was more past that point in another manga following the main character. So I would highly recommend checking out. So
the Japanese really do love their teenagers fighting to the death movies.
Yeah, this is basically like it's like a battle royale, which is a Japanese film,
Yeah.
which is kind of the inspiration behind whether she wants to win or not. The Hunger Games, similar thing where they're trying to fight to the death, and then the winner is it. So this one here is it's a mix of that. It's not everybody trying to kill everybody all the time. Some challenges different, but definitely people are being killed at different times. They will just go nuts and start killing people, and they're through the first season, you're really starting to learn like, okay, here's this game. What's going on? You're trying to understand why they're playing these games and the world, and okay, where'd everybody go because the place looks normal. But you start seeing some things happen, and if you pay attention, there's a lot of visual cues of what's going on, as to where they're not really where they're at so much as the world itself that they're in at that point. But definitely, I enjoyed the first season a lot. First season really felt like they were doing more of a game per episode, and then they had some story going with it. So there's mixing some stuff in there. A little Squid Game-ish is another way to put it too. And then the second season, they changed it up. They were longer episodes, and the gameplay changed, and the story got a little more deeper into the lore of what's going on.
So like, I don't understand the Alice part.
It's like Alice in Wonderland is basically the
No,
premise,
I know. You would think
Alice
there'd be
in
a
Borderlands.
character named Alice, though. Or have Alice Cooper.
Well, it's called Alice in Borderlands, and I think that's the Americanized version of it. I don't know what it's really called Japanese, if it really would be Alice in Borderland or whatever. But I think it's not so much that there's a character named Alice, but it's like basically all of them are like Alice that have gone through the Looking Glass.
Got it.
So that's the premise. That's what I was thinking. You got to think of Alice in Wonderland. It's just the premise of this is another world and they cross through, but it's like another dimension of ours.
Okay.
So,
well, very cool.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend that. So
yeah. And then I was able to watch it, and actually we both got to watch the new Rian Johnson Knives Out movie called Glass Onion.
Yeah, a Knives Out mystery.
A Knives Out mystery.
Which he's come out and said he hates that title. He just wanted it to be Glass Onion, which I can understand. That was you can tell that was a studio thing of, well, nobody know what Glass Onion is, so let's just call this like. I'm going to go to Netflix. Go, dude, you released it in the theaters for a short time. All you had to do was in the trailer, you explained who it was, but you weren't even planning on making money in the trailer. That you're throwing it right on your Netflix within a month. So,
but here's the thing with Rian Johnson that's so annoying. This is a perfect example. He thinks he's all that, dude. Okay, yeah, it's all nice and good that you made this movie and stuff, but the reality is, movies are a business, and if you don't want those kind of things, then use your own money. But if you're going to get funded by other people's money, they're going to want to see a return. And simply putting a Knives Out mystery helps bring in money because people who like Knives Out will be more intrigued to watch your new movie if it's connected. So if you don't like it, stop taking other people's money, stop ruining other people's franchises, and go make your own stuff with your own dollar.
I think he does better with his own stuff. But the one thing I'll agree with him. If I created a film, say this is the film I did, maybe even if it was continuing another using a character, which he uses the detective character, I wouldn't have wanted him to put that like the Knives Out either. I would have wanted in the trailer say from the writer director of Knives Out, and then mention in the trailer the detective returns in Glass Onion. So it doesn't always have to be Sherlock Holmes in the case of whatever.
No, but if I'm the one giving you the millions, I'm going to
want
I'm not
every
saying that
penny
back that I can make.
I'm not saying that the person giving the money, he doesn't have the right to do that. I'm just saying as the creator, I would be the same way. And I say, I don't like that. And I might come out and say it. Yeah, this is, I want it to just be Glass Onion. And when you see the movie, it says Glass Onion. It doesn't say a Knives Out mystery in the titling. Yeah. So that's just in the advertising marketing. So.
Yeah, it's purely for marketing.
Yeah.
But as a movie goes, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I think I liked the first Knives Out movie better. This one, they did have some good twists that I did like, but overall, Brett and I talked yesterday about this. I think the parts that weren't surprising was more due to the fact that it was Ed Norton in the movie, because I just automatically think he's a douchebag. I know a lot of people love him. I personally think he's overrated.
Some people I think like him as a movie. I don't know if anybody loves him, but I think some people like him. But
yeah,
he's very hit or miss for me.
Yeah. So he just comes across as kind of like a slimy little conniving little guy anyway. So for me, some of the twists were satisfying, but the overall story arc was not surprising. So
No, there was no real surprises. A couple little things that were of the characters themselves when they revealed a couple things,
mhm.
um, mainly the Andy character. But other than that, the story itself kind of flowed how I figured it would. Because he's the whole premise is he's bringing all his friends to this island, uh, for a murder mystery weekend, and he's kind of funding their lifestyles. Um, but he sounds like, but everybody, it's like they're all friends with him. It's like typical, people like, oh, we're friends with him, but behind his back, talking about how much of a douche he is.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's kind of that. And then you
they're
get the whole,
they're paid for friends.
yeah. And then there's a lot of commentary on at the beginning about the lockdowns that takes place during the shutdown and lockdowns, and showing like celebrities like, oh, well, this is our pod. And it's like all these famous people are just hanging out together, partying. And then all of a sudden, when they show up for this island to get the real movie started, it's like they all
Mhm.
get a shot in the mouth with some spray, and supposedly that cured them of everything.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they can say, "Oh yeah, now you don't need masks." It's like, okay, so whatever your commentary is on all that stuff is like, whatever.
Yeah, but if you like mystery type movies, if you like the first Knives Out movie, I
Yeah.
think you'll enjoy this. I think it's much. I personally, I'm glad I didn't pay for it in a theater. I watched it on streaming in the comfort of my own home. I think
Yeah.
I liked it better because of that. And it's not a
Well,
theater movie to me.
yeah, it might have been all right in the theater, but it wasn't
Yeah,
that engrossing in that part. But yeah, it reminds me a little bit. He's doing a mix of characters. He's basically created his own version of Poirot, like Agatha Christie had. And he's trying to do his own Sherlock Holmes Poirot style character, with Daniel Craig. And this one I said is a weaker one to the first one. It's got the sophomore slump, and like us, and we're talking in multiple movies, and kind of like they did with the Murder in the Orient Express was
yeah,
a fun movie, but then you get to Death on the Nile using the same character
yeah.
actors and that. I'm talking about the recent ones, not any of the
Yep.
previous ones or the novels. It was a weaker story to the other movie, and the way the movie itself played out when you're comparing just the two.
That's
So
a
I think it
great
fell to the same.
comparison.
I
Yeah.
think it fell to the same
Yep.
trappings of that. So
No, I think you nailed it right there. Yeah, Death
yeah,
on the Nile, I was very underwhelmed with. I really enjoyed the first Orient Express one there. So yeah,
yeah.
that's a great comparison.
Actually, Death on the
Um,
Nile, I got about halfway through and I had to shut it off because it really just felt like the filmmaking was not there, the storytelling was not there.
yeah.
Reading up on it, it is known as one of the lesser of the Agatha Christie stories, anyways. But that's the one they chose to go with. So
Now another one, I believe a second movie's coming out for murder mystery movies is the Adam Sandler one with Jennifer Aniston. I think they're doing a second one. I really enjoyed the
yes,
first one, so hopefully they don't have a sophomore slump on that one because I like that one a lot. That was a lot of fun.
yeah, I saw a while back there. I think it's already wrapped. So they finished filming that one. It's probably coming out sometime next year. I would think it was a Netflix movie too, and Murder Mystery is
Yep.
what it's called actually. So,
Yeah.
so it's going to be called Murder Mystery 2, I guess. But I would assume it's going to be on sometime mid next year, towards
Yeah.
later on. So, but it's that was fun, and I think what made it fun was in real life they are friends, so that dynamics comes through, and them playing a couple.
Yeah.
But it was also just a fun story. Um, it
The other
doesn't try to
thing
get you too deep into like anything. So
the other thing is Adam Sandler has become surprisingly good at acting. Like he does good in his roles, like Uncut Gems that he did, and other ones too. He's
well,
he's taken on some range, and
I
it's
felt
funny
he's
because
always been good.
I've always felt he sucked. He has like
Well,
one voice he can do when he does his comedy.
see,
He
he
does
does
it
it
for
on
like
comedy.
all his
I'm talking
characters.
as an
And-
actor. When he acts,
right.
he's good.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. I feel over the years he's gotten so good. Like I look forward to seeing him now. Whereas before I felt like I was tolerating him. It's like, oh,
Well,
here he goes with the
if you look
like
at
the
his
Water Boy was basically the same voice for like so many of his skits.
well, and he does that a
Yeah.
lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back and you look at some of the stuff he did in the '90s when he really broke out from
Yeah.
that stuff, and you look at like Billy Madison, Waterboy, Big Daddy, even, and those movies were those goofy movies and
Mhm.
and things like that. But then you go to 1998, it's The Wedding Singer. Now he had a little bit of his goofy Adam Sandler stuff in there, but he really could act in that. You could
Yeah.
see, the heartbreak in the guy and stuff like that. He did a great job with Mr. Deeds, which was technically a remake. I thought that
And
was fun,
I
but really
think
what
it's
showcased his acting, I felt, was the movie Punch Drunk Love.
he seems to do really well when he has a female lead to act against.
Yes. When he's got a good female lead, I mean, Mr. Deeds, he had Winona Ryder,
Yep.
so that really helped there.
Drew
You look at the
Barrymore he
weddings.
acted with.
Oh, he's been great with Drew Barrymore. They did 50 First Dates, The Wedding Singer. They did Blended. That was another one
Yep.
they did together, which was good.
Yeah.
And showed, and he's changed a lot of his comedy over the years. And that's, I think, in contrast to his life of becoming more
Yeah.
of a family man. I was listening to, flipping through some of the serious stuff. I came across Conan O'Brien has his own radio on
Mhm.
Sirius XM called Team Coco. And he was interviewing Molly Shannon, and she started talking about Adam Sandler. They come about, yeah, I get like a knock at the door, and she's like, I get this knock at the door. She goes, it was Adam Sandler, was it? She goes, yeah, he just showed up, had the kids. He goes, oh, we can't stay. We just wanted to stop by and say whatever, and just comes on in because that's Adam Sandler.
He's very normal.
Yeah, he will just, for all his friends, he just shows up where people are like,
Yeah.
Cohen's like going, oh, I know where your house is. They live near each other in LA and all that stuff. He goes, but I would never feel like just coming up. She goes, I want to be that kind of person where you could come up. It's they both come from an Italian Catholic background, and they feel like, yeah, come on over, come on in, have a knish, whatever, and
Yeah.
things like that. But that's Sandler, and then they start talking about Sandler. They go like, she just did a movie with him when they recorded this. In the last year or so, not sure what movie, but she didn't say the name of it. But she said, yeah, I think he films all his movies in Hawaii now, which is kind of how it is. But that's all his.
He films where he wants to go.
Yeah,
and he brings his friends.
His last several years, he's like, he films movies in places he wants to take his family. He takes his whole family with him. Yeah. He tries to make all these movies as friends. That's when you look at stuff like Grown Ups and stuff like that. Yeah. And I know people will give Grown Ups and a few of those movies a bunch of crap, but it's like it's like the Oceans movies. Oceans 11 really wasn't meant to be as big a deal and go on to 12, 13, but they all had so much fun. Yeah, let's do another one. We made enough money to make it worthwhile. Nobody was doing those movies for the paycheck. They were doing to hang out with each other. It's the old Rat Pack thing of, hey, here's my friends, let's just hang out. Hey, while we're doing, let's make a movie and make some money.
Yeah, and write off the trip.
Pretty much
deduction.
Yeah, they get a production company to pay for everything. So
yep.
But yeah, if you go through all the stuff he's done, now speaking of Adam Sandler, he had a good movie this year. I'm trying to find the name of it because I'm blanking. It was when he played the basketball
coach
slash trying to kind of recruit.
And supposedly Adam Sandler is really good in basketball.
Yeah, that's what they did mention. He's like always walking around in his basketball shorts. But yeah, I think he's pretty good. He's not a bad athlete. And you can see that in some of the stuff he does. He's Hustle. That was the name of it. Hustle. And you can see that streaming on Netflix. I got to tell you, that was a fantastic film. That right there showed again that he could actually act. And when he does more of the non-goofy comedy stuff, his true acting comes out. He's not, the other stuff was just that's what they liked about Saturday Night Live. So that's what they ran with to get him. We started doing his movies, and he was smart enough to actually have his own production company early on with that. It became the Happy Madison.
And now his friends have to be his friends.
Yeah.
Like David Spade will always joke about how they all kid each other, but they never joke with Adam because they don't want to get him mad and then they won't do more jobs.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think I don't see him. It's one of the things I think you'd have to really do something nasty, vindictive to upset Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, he's one of those guys that if you're his friend, you're his friend. And that's proof in the special he did the other year where we did a couple of the concerts and he talked about Chris Farley and sing that song to Chris Farley, which he still does on some of his tours. And he's touring again this year with his comedy thing to a few cities down in Florida and a couple of places. So, in that, but yeah, so again, 2022, one of the movies I really liked this year was Hustle with Adam Sandler. I thought that was a fantastic film.
Nice. So, well, should we start the list or was there something else to cover before we got into the list?
I don't know. I don't think it's anything super important. I know you're telling me you watched a couple movies. He's got a TV there where he can do the over the air, and there's all these channel like 7.2, 7.3s, and you can see all these oddball channels, which is great because it's kind of like the back in the day when the UHF was nothing and they would just show whatever. Right. You were telling me you watched Ice Pirates, which I told you I loved as a movie. As cheesy, gimmicky as it is, I've always loved that movie.
Oh, it's so bad it's good. And it's been so long since I've seen it. Here, let me see if I can find the trailer for Ice Pirates. But anyways, it's here we go. I found it.
Okay.
Pull it up. It's amazing.
Now, I want to premise this because we keep getting tagged with all these supposed copyright notices, and only one of them has actually been legitimate, I think. for those that try to tag us on this copyright stuff, one is our intro songs, our outro songs. We bought the rights to those. Anything show trailers, we're not making any money on anyways. We're just giving you free advertisement to make your money on your stuff if you legitimately own that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's making money on Ice Pirates. I know.
It's ripe for a remake.
The actors are all like, they get
most
like
of them are dead.
2 cents of residuals a year. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Come on. Oh, why is it going so slow? Okay, here we go. I gotta share this page now.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Ice Pirates. What struck me about it is it came out in 1984. So Return of the Jedi came out in 1983, and it just watching this and how bad it is, it just made me really appreciate what an amazing job Lucas did, especially the first movie. His budget was so small, you know, what he accomplished, and like the technology itself didn't even exist at that point to do what he did. So let's share now. This is Ice Pirates for the people who don't remember it. Good old lion.
At last, the space comedy you didn't know you were waiting to see. The Ice Pirates. In the far distant future, in a galaxy where those in the know don't go. Real estate.
Even the clouds look bad.
They've got great sushi, but there's no water.
You got any water?
Ron Perlman.
It is a time when desperate men will swing from the chandeliers.
You got Robert Urich, who is fresh off Vegas.
Good men like
Spencer for Hire.
Space Pirate. And explorer of the
he was in Vegas.
His chief engineer and fellow rogue Roscoe.
I love that.
And the beautiful Princess Karina. One tiny
That's
band
Bing Crosby's daughter,
who must
Mary
bust
Crosby.
their buns, battling the masters of all the water in the galaxy. The evil Mithradoids, famous for not being nice. Killing you would be too easy. I have something better in mind. The Ice Pirates. See startling special effects. See depravity in zero gravity. See glamour girls from another galaxy. See kung fu robots.
Wow.
And delight in the mysteries of the seventh world. The one place in the universe to get a decent glass of water.
Don't do that.
How's it going? How's it going to you?
The Ice Pirates. A totally spaced adventure.
See, the Ice Pirates really propelled Matuzik there in his acting career because the next year he played Sloth in the Goonies.
Well, not only that, but it also shows how times have changed. Angelica Houston's in this. They don't even mention her in the trailer.
Oh, this is like one of her first films, I'm sure.
Right.
I mean, she'd probably done a few things here and there, but because of her father.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like her, Ron Perlman's in this. You know, back then he was a nobody. Now everybody knows his name now.
Yeah, that was a couple years before Beauty and the Beast, where he really got known. Yeah, she was. I mean, you look at Angelica, you should go back and look at her stuff. She was in a bunch of stuff prior to that, pops up here and there, but nothing that really took her off. But even really, she didn't take off until I think Prizzi's Honors, when she got the big recognition, and then went from there doing a lot more serious roles. But yeah, I mean, even the trailer itself says they talk about how cheesy the special effects are and everything else. It knows what it is.
Yeah. But anyways, this just gave me an appreciation, thinking like going all the way back to even the first Star Wars, which was, it filmed in like 1976.
Yep.
It just shows the quality Lucas did, and I think we take Star Wars for granted because it became such a mega hit. but there's so many bad sci-fi movies in the 80s
Well,
that
the thing with the 80s is you look at a lot of the ones that were, you look a little cheesy. You got like Kroll, which I still enjoy. Another
Mhm.
one that's, not great. And that you look at like Ice Pirates. You mentioned Steel Dawn, which was the Patrick Swayze film
yep.
that came out not too long after that, a couple years after that. There's a lot of these movies coming out, and a couple of things were happening at the time in the 80s. One is there were still drive-ins, even though they were
Mhm.
waning. But number two is the home video market had taken off. So even though those films were being made to be released, they're done on the cheap. And then they came out on video for the rental. And this is prior to Blockbuster coming out. So it was all the, all these local places were buying up all these movies. They probably would have got like 10 copies of the Ice Pirates at a small place just because they had enough people coming in to rent stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot of the 80s stuff that, I kind of love. There's a lot of cheesy stuff. But when you look at like, George, of course, with Star Wars, he took it seriously. He wasn't creating a space opera. He just wanted to create this, fantasy story that was in space.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference was.
Well, and going back to your home video market, you got to remember too, the average person had a 13-inch TV. So they weren't having to make some, like the special effects, you could spend a very low budget and have it look decent on a 13-inch low resolution TV versus what we have today. You watch
it was a big deal to
80-inch.
have a projector back in the 80s, which they still have, but those were low quality. You didn't have the crystal clear
and
pictures.
if you were really in the elite class, you had the laser disc.
Yeah, and even that was still very new in the 80s. So
right, very expensive.
but besides that, there's a lot of movies we looked at for this year. So let's get started.
Yeah, let's see what the list brings.
So
you want to pop up yours, or
I've got the same. I'll go pop mine up because I think I got a better,
perfect,
better internet than you've got today. So best of, there's like 40 of them listed here. So we'll go through these. So there's that. So there's the very best movies of 2022 ranked. So let's see. Now it starts off with number 40 is Prey, which I enjoyed that on Hulu.
Yeah, that was an enjoyable movie. I liked it. I would have liked to seen that on the big screen.
Yes, I think they did a great job with the filmmaking, the way everything, the cinematography was really good. I think it would have played well on a bigger screen. I did not see Barbarian.
I did not see it, but I saw a lot of horror fans post they really like this one.
It's got Justin Long, who it's nice to see him do something other than a Kevin Smith movie lately. So, but I like Justin Long. I think he's a good actor. He doesn't get his due in that. And then of course, Bill Skarsgård there is listed there. So,
the
Skarsgård showing the worst movies of 2022, and then it shows Miles there. I was like, okay.
The Skarsgårds really have become quite a presence in Hollywood. Between, you got the father who is in the Marvel movies, and he was just in the Andor series.
Yeah,
he's been popping up in a lot of things, and I always mix up which one's which. The one brother was in True
Blood.
True Blood, and then the other one's in It, and Bill I think is the It one.
Yeah, Alexander was in True Blood, and then Bill was he played Pennywise.
Yeah, so between the three of them, they are really popping up in a lot of stuff now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they've been pretty busy on all that stuff, and they're good actors. They all do the great stuff there. So, now I didn't see the menu. Now I know Kevin. I believe Kevin and Brandy went and saw it. He liked it. She didn't. This movie looked like something I would enjoy, and I just think it's a chance to see it in the theater. So it's going to be probably streaming eventually soon. So I'll probably check it out then. But it's it's called a horror comedy, and basically these people are all invited to dinner. It's got the chef, but then the chef and the waiter, I guess, end up hunting the people. So I don't know too much into the details of things, but it sounds like it was just another fun little romp. Did you ever see The Bad Guys?
Yes, I saw that one.
Okay,
it was okay. I wouldn't put it in my. Well, I didn't see 40 movies this year, so I guess it would be in my top 40. But it was okay.
Yeah. The hard part this year is there wasn't a ton of releases. There was a lot of stuff that popped up on streaming, but overall, the top releases were, for theaters, so that was very minimal.
Yeah. I just thought it was okay. For me, it was. I saw it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I could stream it and watch it, and I'll probably maybe put it on, but it didn't appeal to me in terms of the trailer. So,
I thought, I don't know if it came out this year or last year, but I thought Sing was a much better. Sing 2.
Sing 2 came out.
This
I think
one.
early this year. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
And I
probably
just
higher up on
watched
the
that.
list.
I just watched that last week on Friday, since I didn't work because it was crappy out. I had some stuff to do around the house, so I put it on while I was building a cabinet, and it was fun. That was a neat little. I liked the first one. The second one was neat. They did a little. They changed some things up, but it was a lot of fun. They went to their version of Vegas to do their own show, so I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Bros. It's a
I,
romantic comedy about two guys that fall in love, and
I haven't even heard of this one.
yeah, it came out a while back, and it's I think it's streaming on Peacock, maybe
Okay,
one of those. So
yeah.
X is another one I heard is pretty good, and that's got Jenna
Kevin,
Ortega. Kevin
I
loved this
believe
one.
Kevin loved that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Brittany Snow, he said she was fantastic in that. So it's definitely one if I see it streaming, I may want to check out.
yeah, if you like horror, it sounds like this is a good one.
Yeah, and there's a sequel that just came out too. I've seen it already on DVD. So I think this came out at the beginning of the year, and they filmed a sequel to it already. So, and then I haven't heard of Emily the Criminal, but it's got Aubrey Plaza in it, and she's been
Which
popping up a lot. So
seems like a different role for her. I
yeah.
didn't see this one either, but usually she's more of like deadpan comedy kind of thing. I really liked her in what was that series they did for a brief time with? It was the take on the New Mutants or the X-Men or something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Let me pull her up real quick here.
I liked her role in that series. I thought she did really good there. She's also in Parks and Recreation.
Yep. A lot of people know her more from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
She was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yep.
Legion. She was in Legion. That's
Legion.
What that's one that was. Yeah.
I really liked that series and the way that was going, but
yeah.
that didn't last. A lot of these I've never even heard of. Pearl? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, that's the sequel to X. So, and that came out pretty quick, and it's got it's a sequel to X.
That was fast.
Or it's like a prequel to X. So it's like I think they did them around the same time because it's got different actors in it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Ty West, New Zealand. They filmed Pearl while they were in New Zealand shooting X. That's over here. Not spoken knew about it time. That's why Pearl, a prequel to X, was released just a matter of months after. And Pearl actually has a higher rating than X by their calculations.
Okay.
And I guess there's a trilogy called Maxine, so there's another one coming out. So it's interesting.
Oh, okay.
There's another one called The Innocents. Now, again, you see a lot of foreign names, so a lot of these may be popping up on streaming and just not catch those. I've not seen The Innocents.
Most of these, I don't even know what they are. Like,
yeah.
Where are they coming up with these movies?
A Love Song. I haven't seen this one either. Again, some of this stuff comes out in and out of theaters and may end up on streaming or not. Yeah. Turning Red. I did see this one. It was fun. It was Disney Plus has it. It's a Pixar. Disney. I think it's Pixar. Maybe just Disney. But it's where the girl. She basically. They're kind of masking, talking about girls getting their periods. Right. So when she gets her period, she turns into a giant red panda. So they did a thing, and then of course, typical rebellion against parents, stuff like that. So it was fun. It was a cute little movie. And then I tried to watch Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. That's streaming on a couple of the channels. On I think it was I forget which one it's on. Probably Paramount. And I got about 15 minutes and to shut it off because I mean, I sometimes I find Beavis and Butthead funny. I didn't find this one funny at all. So
yeah,
other people may have, but I didn't. Bob's Burgers movies I didn't watch because I don't watch the series, so I'm well aware of it. But people I know that saw it loved it. They said that it was a good movie for the series itself. I think any of the Fox stuff, it's like they now start to try to go to movies. They haven't done the Family Guy movie yet, but I think they ought to get the live action Peter Griffin to do, and they do a live action one. So get the guy that cosplays Peter Griffin and he can be in it. So
I'm scrolling down. Almost none of these I know. I think this is some.
These are a lot of these
movie
I've heard
snob
of.
List.
No, it is, but a lot of these I've heard of. I just haven't ever seen them. So
yeah,
it's like I haven't seen the Sea Beast. I've seen that pop up talking about that. Official Competition, haven't seen them. It's got Penelope Cruz and Antonio Banderas, but that may not have been truly released here in the States either.
Yeah.
And Hustle, that's when I talked about that. Number 25, great film. I really like this one a lot.
Yeah. But like
Ben
this
Foster's
list
is good. So
I'm calling this list crap. Like the top 10 movies of the year, the actual top 10 movies for sales, like only one movie is on this top 40 list.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, lists like this are not going to be what people actually saw most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. Like I said, a lot of them are foreigners. There's the Woman King in there. Didn't see that. Um, Pinocchio. I've been wanting to watch that,
That
but I
was
haven't had
good.
time. And that was supposed to be
That
good.
one was good. That's
That's
one of
number
my top
10.
movies of the year.
Yeah.
That would be in my top 5, I think, of the year.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for this Banshees in Inisherin, and that one looks good. I just haven't seen that one yet. It's got Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Colin Farrell. I know some people either like him or don't like him. I'm the same way. I sometimes like him, sometimes I don't. You and I both saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and neither one of us really cared for it. I know some people
That movie
loved
just
it.
was
Thought it was this great
horrid.
movie. I just personally was bored to tears through
I
it.
would label that the actual worst movie of the year.
Yeah. Glass Onion pops at number 5. We talked about that already today.
Like, there's no way that's the number 5 movie in the whole for the whole
Well,
year.
this is their list. It's not the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got another list which has the domestic box office, and I'll pull that up in a second.
Yeah,
too.
that'll be a better list.
Yeah, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Haven't seen that one. Again, I think this is a foreign film that just hasn't really come out here, so or nobody knew about it. This Triple R, that I believe is a Bollywood film. I saw some things pop up about that. I think that's streaming now too on Netflix. And then number 1 movie is Top Gun.
Yeah.
So
Which thinking of the whole year, I think that was my favorite movie of the year was Top Gun Maverick.
So I haven't seen again The Violent. I've been just wanting to go see it, and I just haven't time.
Yeah.
With busy travel works and stuff like that over the last couple of months. But that one's still out and doing well. Let me share this real quick here. This is the actual box office mojo where we're at right now. The number 1 film of the year and will be the number 1 film is Top Gun Maverick, followed by Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Jurassic World, Minions did actually pretty good. And this is all domestic, not the worldwide, because international varies on some of the things. The Batman was a movie this year. Came out on March 4th. I liked the Batman. The Batman was actually a surprise for me. That it was very well done.
I really liked the movie, other than the ending. I thought it got stupid at the ending.
Yeah.
That part I felt if they cut the last 20 minutes of the movie, it would have been a perfect movie.
Yeah, it was just a little too long on some of that stuff. But yeah, the last part they could have ended it sooner. Spider-Man, though it came out in December, it still had a high grossing for this year for movies. Of course, beginning of the year this year, people were still not going back to the theaters in droves yet because we were still just getting more open. I like the Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I thought that was good. I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it streaming because it came right away. We did a review of Black Adam. So
did you mention Spider-Man No Way Home? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did.
That one
I
really like too. That one might. Oh God, it's a close one between Spider-Man No Way Home and Top Gun Maverick. They both were. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home they both hit the nostalgia perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Top Gun on the phone last night, and we both agree it's a Star Wars movie in a lot of ways. I mean, he's got the trench run, and they followed the basic core of telling a good, fun popcorn movie, and we got to see some characters we hadn't seen. We got an update on those. Basically, we could see where Maverick had been. They explained all the stuff since 1985, or 87, whenever Top Gun came out. So. And then Spider-Man No Way Home was a great roundup to the current trilogy or whatever Spider-Man movies, and hopefully we'll see more because I really enjoy Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I enjoy the characters they've developed within there. Black Adam, it really didn't do good because it wasn't that good. Elvis, I did stream that on HBO Max, and it was okay. It was a one and done. Baz Luhrmann is an interesting filmmaker. And he definitely is very stylized in the way he does stuff. There's nothing new in this movie that you haven't seen before, except they're trying to have it narrated by Colonel Tom Parker.
Yeah, for me, I liked the movie. I felt it was long and drawn out, but I felt like part of that was on purpose to make you feel what Elvis was feeling. Like just his life was becoming this drawn out thing of performing.
That's kind of Baz Luhrmann's thing, you know. He really tries to draw the audience not just into the film they're so engrossed, but also they are feeling the film in some ways. So Uncharted, I enjoyed that. It wasn't great, but it was a popcorn movie. And then
same here. It's a one and done for me.
Yeah,
I have no interest in a sequel, to be honest.
And it probably won't be because it didn't do that well. Nope, I saw that one and on the plane back in November. And it was interesting. I wasn't, it was You thought it was
The
space
hype
aliens,
was
but-
better than the movie.
Yeah, it was, again, another one that was kind of long. It was kind of
Yeah.
long and drawn out. Lightyear was fine. I enjoyed that one a while.
Lightyear, unfortunately for Lightyear, they got into in the marketing side of things, trying really to push certain aspects of it that actually ended up being insignificant in the movie, and I think they hurt themselves. I thought Lightyear was a great movie, and honestly, for me, it was definitely my top 10. I think for the year.
Yeah, I saw it. Well, Scott and I went and saw a preview showing, and then I saw it again in San Diego. They aired it. They had a screening of it on the Sunday I was there, and I had nothing else going on, so I went and saw it again. I until the end when I had to get up and leave early because I'd gotten drawn for one of the things to go and do the Netflix experience. So
yeah, I really enjoyed Lightyear.
Yeah, I hear Smile is good. I believe that's on Paramount Plus to watch now, or going to be. So I haven't watched that yet. It's a horror film. Lost City was okay. That's the one with Sandra Bullock.
Now the people I know who saw that did not like it.
It was okay. It was a one and done type thing too. I didn't feel like I felt it was just okay. The Channing Tatum's character I thought was annoying. I mean, she was a little bit annoying because the way it had her character, but it wasn't bad. I liked some of the aspects of it. In a way, she was trying to recreate without being a sequel or reimagining. It had a little bit of romancing the stone aspect to it, but didn't nowhere catch the adventure and the heart that Romancing the Stone had back in the 80s, which was a much better movie than Lost City. Bullet Train, I actually liked it. So,
I didn't mind the. For me, I really enjoyed all the side characters and all the side stories. I just felt it, to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but for me, like the main bad guy, you don't even see till the last like 20 minutes. And the main character, if you took him out of the movie, you still could have had the movie. Like it just like the Brad Pitt character was irrelevant. It turns out in a way. Like so, I don't know.
Really what he was the. They tried to make him more the focal point as the distraction.
Yes.
And that's what it was. But I liked all the side stories, the stuff going on with that. I enjoyed it.
To me, they were better. The side stories, I would rather focused on the two hitmen that were going after Brad Pitt there. I thought they were more fun.
Now, we already talked a little bad guys, but there was the Fantastic Beasts came out, and unfortunately, it was a disappointment.
I don't.
I think the problem is, and I said this before when we did our review of it earlier this year, is J.K. Rowling needs to write the novels of these stories and have Steve Kloves convert them to the screenplays. He worked with her on this screenplay to try to fix it up some, but I really think that's where she's lagging. Is she should write books so she can get more of her detail in, because writing a screenplay from all this information she has that she's not putting in, I think is what's hurting it in the long run.
Yeah, the original Harry Potter series, what made it so good had nothing to do with the wizarding world. It was the relationships between the characters and the heart that was created between all those relationships. And that's what's lacking to me in the Fantastic Beasts series. It's very superficial. It's more about the wizarding world than the characters themselves.
I think originally she wanted, it felt like it was going to be more about like Newt, and then they introduced Dumbledore in this, and now it's become the Dumbledore story. Yeah. And Newt's become secondary. And I think that's definitely, I think what they started to establish in the first film with Newt, Queenie, and her sister and Jacob, the four of them, that was the four core that they should have followed through this whole thing. And they split them up in the second one too much, where now it's like Dumbledore comes in and Dumbledore's controlling everything, and
they're split up a lot in this one too.
Yeah, so it's just, and they kind of bring them back together at the end, but the whole redemption of bringing them together was very lacking in that. So, and I think that's just
that's where they're missing out, and they kind of made the same mistake with the sequels for Star Wars. Is the main core group people want to see, they start breaking them up. They put Finn off with somebody else instead of with people cared about Poe, Finn, Rey, and keep dividing them up. And when you make the focus more about the world instead of the characters, the story starts dying.
Yeah, the world should just be where these characters are going through and not the
Yes.
focus point. So
Yeah, so
um,
I hope they recover because I love the Harry Potter world, the wizarding
Yeah.
world, and there's so much potential there that I just feel like it's becoming more about the money than it
Well,
is the story.
and part of it's going to be with the money. With the new people taking over the Warner Brothers, one of the things they decided they want to focus is on Harry. He went directly and said Harry Potter film. So I don't know. Again, all this really ties into J.K. Rowling and what she wants to do because she does have complete control over what they can make and not make. So whether or not they do any more Harry Potter films or Wizarding films, I know they want to put more into it to get more out of it because the theme park aspect of it, like Universal's, Orlando, Hollywood, and even in Japan where they have different aspects of it. You got a lot of stuff clanging around there, man.
That's Jill.
Jill?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Jill.
She's getting ready. She's getting ready to do a closing, so
Okay.
she's getting all the paperwork together.
I just thought she was pissed at you or something. She was actually throwing stuff. So
because of where the microphone is, they're hearing all of this. And Brett thought he asked if you were pissed at me and throwing stuff around. See you later.
But yeah. So I mean, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that in the next few years. There is not another Fantastic Beasts in the work at this time. They haven't announced anything on the next one. Originally, it was 5 films, but I'm thinking they're going to try to do a different direction because they felt like they sort of almost wrapped everything up in this last one. So
yeah,
there's things they can do. I did see the DC League of Super Pets. I found it okay. I felt that they tried to do too much adding in of the Warner Brothers. I would say Warner Brothers adult humor, but it actually felt more adult. They were actually bleeping the animated characters a couple times for language. And I just I don't like that. I want, if I've got kids, that's just not cool. I haven't seen Where the Crawdads Sing. I've heard mixed on that. I did see The Black Phone. I liked The Black Phone. That was really good. Did you see The Black Phone yet?
I did not.
I believe it's on Paramount. It's a good thriller. It's set in the 70s, and it feels like a 70s era. They didn't try to like stylize it. It wasn't like it felt like okay, this is what normal 70s was. It wasn't all the disco dancing, flashy stuff you saw in some of the movies in the 70s or what people now imagine the 70s is like. But I liked the Black Phone. That was really good. That was a lot of fun. And then we mentioned Sing 2. I enjoyed that one. I did not see Scream, but I'm not a big Scream fan. So, and then Morbius. Morbius came out this year.
That feels like it was like a year ago or so. Some of these, it's like that was this year.
I know this. It's funny. As fast as this year went, it's still been a long year.
Yeah, it's weird how time works that way.
Yeah, Morbius was fine.
Okay.
I think it could have been better, but at the same time, it introduced the character, and maybe we'll get to see some Midnight Suns out of it as they mix up some of the other stuff. So
it says on here, I'm confused. Morbius, wasn't that Sony? It says Columbia Pictures on there.
Columbia is owned by Sony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's part of the
Columbia TriStar is owned by Sony.
Okay. So Morbius is part of the Spider-Verse that they're trying to create within Sony. That's like Venom and those things. For me, it just, there's something about Sony doesn't know how to capture the magic. And the only magic they have is when they're with Marvel.
And that's why Spider-Man's done so well.
Right. And every time they do their own standalone stuff, it falls apart. Something's lacking. And I don't know exactly what. But I think it goes back to what we were saying about Fantastic Beasts, even though I think they're more focused on the world instead of the character. Whereas Marvel, it is very character driven. Tom Holland, you care about him as Spider-Man. Yeah, it's not about his powers.
Yeah, when you see the first Spider-Man with Tom Holland, I mean, his first standalone movie they'd already introduced him, so we didn't have to worry about an origin story, which is great because everybody knows the origin. But then you got to introduce, okay, here's Aunt May. We learn more about the Aunt May relationship he has. It's a different one than we're used to because she's a younger looking Aunt May than they normally show. So I think we learned that, and then it's not your normal Mary Jane. It's not your normal friends. So they're going their own direction with a lot of things, but they're building these characters up where you actually care about them.
Yeah.
So, and then we talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once already. Ticket to Paradise. I watched that one a few weeks ago because it's streaming on, and with, that's George Clooney and, what's her name? Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Yeah.
Yep. It was okay. Not great. I mean, there were some moments I liked. They have a good dynamic. I think it really falters on just the premise and the scripting. I was just like, you just don't care. Because they're a divorced couple who have their daughters goes to this island on vacation, meets a guy, and she decides to stay there and marry him, and so you get a lot of the island, stuff going on. And so when they go there, and it's out in like Bora Bora or something like that, I don't know. So it was okay. It had some funny moments, but it wasn't like great. Woman King, I didn't see. Halloween Ends, I watched, and I'm glad it's ending because it really wasn't that good. And it really wasn't even a Michael Myers film. It was the other character guy in there who's kind of gets the essence of Michael Myers, who's still around until the very end. So that was kind of Dog. I haven't watched Dog yet. That's another Channing Tatum movie. I could watch that one. It just didn't appeal to me.
Channing Tatum is one of those actors I just don't care about.
Yeah,
I don't mind him when he's like a goofy sidekick. He plays the dumb goofy sidekick well, but like a lot of people want him to see him as Gambit. I'm so glad they never used him as Gambit. Like I don't.
No, he would have been bad because I don't think he could. One, couldn't do the accent right. Two, he's just kind of there. He's just not.
Yeah, like I liked him when he's in. They did the spoof 21 Jump Street. He was funny there, but that's like the only character I like him as. Or like he was the kind of a side character cameo of the Ryan Reynolds ones, Free Guy.
Yeah,
like he was funny in there, but when he plays the main lead, I don't see it. I don't understand the drive there. I don't know.
Yeah, I never have on some of this stuff. And then I'm not a Jackass fan, so I didn't watch Jackass Forever. Lyle Crocodile didn't look too bad. It's a kids movie. I think I'm streaming. I might check it out that way. Mentioned Death on the Nile earlier. That was this year also, February. Again, I thought it fell flat as a sequel. I thought the acting was low. I thought the way they told the story was bad. But again, I think it also plays to the fact the original story is one of the least liked of the Agatha Christie's.
Well, and I do wonder too how much of because I feel like overall this was a very there was only a few highlights to the year for movies, and how much of that is because of the lockdowns, like that were performances and writing, and it was the productions just. Was the life sucked out of these things, behind the scenes? Yeah. And we're seeing the results now because those movies are coming to completion. I don't know, but overall it was a disappointing year for entertainment, I thought.
Yeah. Now I saw Strange World is streaming on Disney Plus. I felt like that one could have been something good, but I think the story itself is the problem. And, and when you learn what the world itself is, I was underwhelmed. I was like, okay, I think that could have started with here's this world and built from there. But they were trying to build up these dynamics between these characters that I feel was not really there either. And again, you're dealing with a great adventurer, and I'm like, the beginning, you feel like, this could be like a little up, where you get like you learn about this adventure at the beginning, right? And then you have a good story that follows that. You learn a little bit more about the adventure, and he's not as crazy as he was. It didn't have to go that direction, but it was just okay, and then you saw Northman, didn't you?
Yeah, Northman, great example of the director being the problem. This movie had a huge potential. He just went a little too artsy. All he cared about was the artsy side of it, and honestly, the story was there. They could have, you look at the TV series Vikings. Like they could have totally captured that. They had all the elements there. This was Skarsgård. Alexander Skarsgård was the main Viking. He was amazing in it. It got a little too into the Viking practices where I almost got uncomfortable watching some of the stuff. But as a movie, it was long and it was too artsy.
Yeah.
And had he gone just a hair, not much more commercialized with his presentation, I think this could have been huge. But hey, he has the right to make the movie how he wants. I think he could have doubled his money though, making it a little bit less artsy.
Yeah, I think that's also what failed with the Green Knight when that came out.
Green Knight too, beautiful. The like same with the Northman. Beautifully shot. The cinematography was great. But why does it have to Zack Snyder, same thing. Makes complete crap for movies. Sorry, all of you 10 people who actually scream about the Snyderverse, most of you were bots, and it was proven. He does beautiful cinematography, but crappy movies. Like, why does there have to be one or the other? Why can't we have beautiful cinematography and a great movie?
Yeah. Now, a couple more here, and we'll wrap it up here. I did see "Marry Me." That was just a basic romantic comedy with Jennifer Lopez. It was like watching her life almost. It was fine. It was fine.
I know her and Ben Affleck are already done.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is prior to them actually getting back together, marrying. So, Ambulance. I actually found Ambulance really good. I watched that on a flight. I enjoyed that one. That one had a nice little story to you. It was what's it? I'm gonna pull it up real quick here. It was Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, and it's a heist movie, and it was an interesting take on some of the heist stuff, and
he's just hitting all of the first responders. Like, wasn't he also a 911 call operator this year?
Yep, yeah, he did that too. Yep, and that was actually pretty good too. And then the Kingsman was okay. I expected more out of that one.
That's another one. It felt lifeless to me.
It felt forced, and then Father Stu was okay. It's based on a true story.
I enjoyed Father Stu. Yeah. It was a true story.
Yeah, so, it wasn't bad. It's worth watching once, but it doesn't have the replayability.
It has a great message to it.
And then one of the best films this year was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That one, honestly, like, I think a huge problem with this movie is the title. Had they named it something different, I think it could have done way better just by changing the name. It was such a stupid name, but it was way better than I expected. I went into it not expecting much, and
I think you said it right when you talked about it before. Was if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, you're really gonna like it because it's basically touting Nicolas Cage because he's playing himself in this fictionalized setting with Pedro Pascal, and Pedro Pascal was fantastic. He was way better in this than he was in Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely way better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through the list to see if there's any other highlights let's see. Firestarters. Matrix Resurrections. I forgot that came out this year.
Oh God,
release date, December 22nd. Okay, so it came out at the very end of last year.
Yeah, a few of these came out at the very end.
Matrix Resurrections, though, it was awful.
Oh, it was horrible.
So bad.
I was so glad I didn't go to the theater and watch it. I watched it at home. And that now a movie that was kind of fun. I ended up picking up on DVD because it was Foo Fighters. Studio 666 was fun. Very cheesy, but it's meant to be. And it was fun on that one.
Here's another one. I mean, it technically came out last year, but it's on the list. Ghostbusters Afterlife. That came out November of last year. So it still was making money into this year. Love that movie. Absolutely loved it. That was a great example of doing a reboot. They're continuing the franchise, honoring the past while creating characters that can bring it forward. Right. That was great. I definitely look forward to any sequels there. Babylon's on here. That's getting skewered by critics. That one. There was one I saw, or was it last year? Oh, did you see? Oh my God, what was the name of it? I wanted you guys to see it, and you didn't see it. It had a surprise twist that I didn't want to tell you about, and I saw it's on streaming now. I gotta look it up, and I can't remember now.
Okay, I may have. If it's streaming, I may have watched it.
It's streaming now, and I asked you guys if you saw it, and you didn't see it. The Invitation, I think it was. Did you see that?
Let me see here. Hold a minute.
I don't want to reveal the twist.
I haven't watched that yet, so I'll have to check that out.
Check it out. It's on streaming now. I saw it the other day. I think it's Netflix, but it might be one of the others. But I really liked it, and I want to get your guys' take on it. Kevin, if you're listening, go watch it. I know you're going to love it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And then there was that other one, Soho. Last Night in Soho. Wasn't that this year?
Oh, yeah. That was great.
That was really good. Way different than I expected. Which actually brings up a good.
It actually came out. It came out last year.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably why it didn't pop up on the list this year. It's on HBO now. For those that haven't seen it, you can watch it on HBO. I watched it. I think I watched it on a flight because I was catching some of these movies on a flight. Matt Smith was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was great in this. The girl who played Sandy, Anya Taylor-Joy, she was phenomenal. It was just a really good movie, and it had such a great little. And again, it's a psychological horror film,
Yeah.
and just some of the twists and nuances, and the way they dealt with the past and the present.
Yeah.
Of the setting. I really liked this movie. It was really
But
good.
I think that movie is a great tie into a relevant story that's happening now. Did you see how the lawsuit where they successfully sued as misleading for a trailer because an actress was cut from the film and somebody sued saying they only saw the movie because this actress was in it, so they felt misled.
Yeah.
And like last night at Soho, the trailers, they don't reveal what it is. It's a shocking surprise to me. You know, like, wow, this movie was way better than I expected because the trailer didn't reveal it. I don't think people should be allowed to sue for a misleading trailer. Like M. Night Shyamalan movies, it's always a twist. Like,
yeah.
What and people do get cut from films. You start advertising a year in advance for a film.
Yeah, it was the movie Yesterday, which I liked the movie Yesterday. I thought it was a fun movie. But it has Ana de Armas, and she ends up not being in it. I don't know if she got replaced or cut. And it says she was cut from the film. I don't know if she was meant to be. So in it, but these fans sued, and now they're saying, "Oh yeah, you can sue because of misinformation." It's like, wait a minute, a trailer doesn't always. Here's if they're gonna be allowing this stuff, this is just like the stupid lawsuit of my coffee was hot,
right?
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense. And who are these people that sued? Was it her parents? like really? Like last night in Soho. Like if Matt Smith was cut, am I really gonna walk out because Matt Smith wasn't in the movie? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just. I'm not happy with this lawsuit because are we going to now go to the other extreme now where every trailer is just going to reveal everything about the movie because they're afraid of lawsuits?
Yeah,
hopefully not.
Well,
it's a pleasant surprise when the movie's different.
A character called Roxanne. She was a minor character, so she wasn't the main thing. She just happened to be in the shot in the trailer. The main two actors that were in it were the one that played Jack and the one that played Ellie.
Yeah,
that's the main two. Everybody else, I mean, Kate McKinnon was a more thing, and then Joel Fry played Rocky. They were the main characters.
Yeah.
And Roxanne, as a character, she just wasn't. She got cut probably because the little subplot story with her wasn't anything.
Right. And can I sue in reverse? Can I say, "Oh, well, I didn't know that actor was in this movie. You didn't show me that he was in the movie, and I don't like him, and I wouldn't have seen the movie if he was in it." So can I sue in reverse because you didn't tell me he was in it? Like it's ridiculous. It's, I don't know.
And that's the whole thing. And the fact that they sued because they felt like misled. It's like, it's just ridiculous. This lawsuit started back in January, but we just heard about it recently because they just had a ruling on it.
Yeah.
But it was a class action lawsuit.
Class action.
Yeah.
How many people are there that many people upset that this actress wasn't in the movie?
Yeah.
we have a class action suit. This is just to get stories.
Yeah, here it is. It's two plaintiffs. It's a 38-year-old Connor Wolf from Maryland and a 44-year-old Peter Michael Rosa from California. Both paid $3.99 to watch Yesterday on Prime.
So, okay, so you're allowed.
They wanted $5 million for their $4.
I'm assuming legally they can sue for actual damages, which in this case adds up to $8. So they spent thousands to get $8 back. Like,
yeah, she originally was supposed to be a love interest to the main guy, and cutting her out also meant they cut out a scene where he serenaded her with a George Harrison's song something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's
definitely $5 million. They should get $5 million.
Yeah, she was cut out, and it was a potential. So it was a subplot within the story that they probably felt like, hey, this doesn't even fit. There's no reason to have it.
It happens all the time.
And the trailer gets put together not by the filmmakers most of the time. It's done by companies that say they get sent all this stuff. Here's a bunch of stuff. Just put together a trailer.
See the final film. They're putting together something to attract you.
Exactly.
So I just thought that was like the most ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous lawsuit of 2022, I think.
Yes, definitely. And I thought it was ridiculous. So
yeah.
Well, hey, that kind of covers our movie stuff for the year. So
indeed,
again,
look forward to next year.
Yeah, there's some stuff coming up we want to see. we'll definitely talk about that over the next few weeks as we start looking at coming ahead films and things like that. So, and
So-
series.
Next week, I may not be here.
Yep.
We have a closing lined up that looks like it's going to happen at Wednesday during the time we'd normally be on here. So, not sure if Brett's going to want to do it solo or take a vacation.
I'll pop on regardless. Probably unless something comes up.
All right.
But we'll let you all know. So next week is tentative, but we'll definitely see you sometime next year. Because Happy New Year to everybody. It'll be Sunday.
Yeah, Happy New
2023.
Year. It's a new start, new goals, new year, all that fun stuff. Hopefully much better than the last couple
three.
years.
All right. We'll see you.
Take care, guys.